Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Travel Collective. And today we're going to get a chance to meet and talk with April about her and her tour business and what she does. So, welcome, April.
Hi, thanks.
Yeah. So, let's just start with sort of how you got started and what was, got you going on offering travel.
Well, as a child, my parents always make it a point to take us on like little summer vacations and stuff. And then, when you're working and life happens, sometimes that passion or that ability to travel kind of gets set aside and you don't feel as able, you're trying to like work a couple jobs. But at some point, I realized how much that was a big part of my spirit and my being, and I needed to do that. I needed to go explore. And so I think for New England, and that's kind of where like the tours and some of the travel writing and just the itinerary services all built from that was my growing up in Iowa, we had this amazing change of seasons. And so living in California for like, well, now it's been many years, but
Yes.
originally when I was there, the first few years, I was like, well, we have seasons, but they're so subtle. They're very subtle changes. They're
Yes.
not the dramatic, like,
Right.
okay, it's September, the air is getting cooler. I can put on a sweater and see the leaves change. So I craved that experience for some reason. So my parents were always going to New England in the fall. And so having moved out and away, I said, let's go together. So they did. They took me to their favorite places. I did a little planning, but mostly it was places they had stayed, they had visited, and they had loved. And it was a memorable trip, of course. And it became the basis of everything from that point on. I came back with amazing photos, I have to say, and I started sharing them with other photographers. I entered some, and then other people, not realizing that's what it looks like, they were like, well, where did you take that photo? And where was
Right.
that? And so they got curious. So then it just was organic, little by little, one or two people. And I just decided, you know what? I get to go see these places I
Right.
love, and the joy of sharing it through someone
Yes.
else's eyes, the joy of discovery, the joy of them realizing that yes, the trees really do get bright red like that. It's not Photoshop, it's not some
Yes.
sleight of hand magic I did on my computer, that your eyes really, that is what you're seeing, and just the whole experience.
Oh yeah, there's something about that autumn air, like seeing the colors and the feel in the air. There's nothing like it. You can see a photo, but you have to stand there to
Yeah.
experience it for sure. So you talked a little bit about why it's important to share travel with others, but that's my other question. I mean, how do you feel about sharing that and the travel part with others?
Oh, I super passionate about sharing travel. I think that's part of the reason you and I clicked and got
Yes,
together, and I'm spending all these additional hours, like,
yes,
because I'm so passionate. Because as a child, it was something that was fostered in me. My grandma took us, down the road to the county fair, and just that joy of discovery. So even though I grew up in a household where we were on a tight budget, I always sensed and knew the value of travel, the value my parents saw in the education piece, even
yes,
in the summertime, taking us to the places where history happened, going on a road trip. You learned so much by actually walking there, seeing
right.
it, making decisions, due to changes, like something
Yeah.
happens and you have to learn to be patient, you have to learn to be flexible, all of those things.
Yes.
But there's just so much to share. And I think that's why I'm so passionate, is because I truly believe, and I see it every day in people we talk to. There's so many ways to incorporate travel. You don't have to have tons of money. You
Right.
don't have to, I don't know.
You don't even have to go far. We've talked
Yes.
about travel your
Yeah,
hometown, right? You're
exactly. And as far as time, it's like we don't know how much time any of us has, but it's making it a priority and realizing the
Yes.
value of that working every day, for most of us, we need, excitement, we need variety, we need new experiences to learn and grow. And that's the only way. And just to connect with other people. Once you actually go and meet other people, you see a different way of life, and you realize that people have the same struggles no matter what. We're all just people. So
Yeah, exactly.
so I think it's a huge thing to actually, you have a different view when you actually have a conversation with someone or go to a place that you thought, oh, that place is kind of scary. It's
Hmm.
not scary. Once you go and you talk to people, it's no different than going down the street in your backyard. So,
Right, right. There are mothers raising their children everywhere on the planet,
yeah.
right? So it's safe. Yeah. So what would you say to someone who wants to go on a trip with you and travel with you on one of your tours?
I think just be open to discovery and be open to the magic is often what I tell them. I structure my trips and tours pretty loosely. I'm not a
Mhm.
per I love to plan. I'll spend hours and hours behind the scenes planning, and I'm sure for my participants sometimes they don't sense that at the get-go because I'm not sending out like today at 8 o'clock we're going to do X and
Right,
then at 11 we're going to be seeing this. I have a general idea and I do spend hours, I mean, poring
right,
over maps and books and the internet and photo. I mean, we have an abundance of information now, more so than when I originally started as a kid and you had to go to the library and you had
right.
to like, ask friends and family. So it's just having flexibility and be open to the magic and being open to like a change. If I notice something and we're going to stop and pull off,
Yeah.
that it's going to be open to that. You never know what's going to be unveiled, who we might meet. We might get a special opportunity to go inside someone's barn or check out their private garden. So
Yeah.
it's just that magic, and it's being willing to be open with just being you, ask
Yeah.
questions, share what you see. I mean, because we all see things so differently.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. Letting the place guide you, right? Like where
Yeah.
you're at, right? Yeah, that's really an important thing. So what's coming soon? What do you have any changes or new things happening with your tours or your business?
Yeah, I'm always looking for new places to share and explore. I know there's a lot of beautiful places I'd like to return to in springtime, but I'm also always have the tug of like going and discovering something new for myself, whether that's in Europe or in Canada. I mean, the world is just there's
Yes.
more places than we'll ever get to explore in our lifetime, unfortunately, unless we're just running from place to place. But I find that if anything, I'm wanting to slow down a little and be a little bit more in depth, even with my tours and
Okay.
sharing places with people, so that I'd like to interface with more artists. I'm working on some things like that. So there's a lot of new things always brewing in my,
Yeah, I loved I can't wait to hear about the artist stuff. So this sounds really fun. Thanks, April, for sharing with us and getting a chance to talk to you about that. And everybody join us on the-travelcollective.com. You'll see more events and more tours. All of that stuff is there, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks,
Thanks,
April.
Adi.
Mhm.